Hello students, in this lecture we'll be learning about the PR tools and techniques. Tools and techniques for public relation that includes your house journals, bulletin board, open house and annual reports and exhibition, the tools that are required by public relations to set up the relationship with the public, whether it's internal or external, depending on what kind of public that you are dealing with. These tools and techniques are being utilized that are mentioned here on the PPT that you can see. House journal, bulletin board, open house, and annual reports and exhibitions. PR tools and activities, and you can promote positive attitude, behavior towards your business that will help convert interested consumers into your own consumers. I repeat this point, PR tools and activities that you can promote positive attitude, behavior towards your business that will help convert interested consumers to your kind of consumers. PR tools are very cost effective and often give you a greater degree of control than more broadly targeted or advertising campaigns. Considering you're using these PR tools to build your business reputation. As mentioned here, that you can see that PR tools help you give greater degree of control than more broadly targeted advertising campaigns. If the PR tools are used wisely, if the strategy is used wisely, it helps in building the reputation correctly. So the major tool that we are talking about here is house journal. A house journal is a medium of communication projects the image of a company or of an organization or outside with the purpose of improving employee morale and promoting goodwill. An organization wants to tell their own story in their own manner, express their own opinion forcefully to the target publics where a house journal fits the bill. Basically, house journal is that where you want to talk about your organization, the work the organization do, the stories related to the employees, related to the profits, whatever is happening in the organization is promoted so that it helps in improving. Majorly, it is being used as an internal PR technique where you try to promote the healthy environment, the competitive spirit in the mind of the people, in the mind of your employees specifically, and helps in promoting goodwill that what kind of activities are specifically designed for your employees that would help them to be more motivated towards their work. And the monetary part is important, but these kind of activities or these kind of tools helps in with good environment, and that shows that the company is very employee centric. When company publishes its own journal to carry on version of their readers for building goodwill amongst customer or reinforcing the employee loyalty, the house journal serves as a means of achieving such aims and objectives. In other words, the house journal is a newspaper or a magazine published by an organization monthly without any cover price, and it's distributed to the selected target publics. As mentioned, it helps in achieving the objectives of reinforcing the employee loyalty, giving them the fair acknowledgement of what they are doing, promoting their good work, and encourage them to do well for the organization. That's how the goodwill of the organization is built. House Journal is a kind of a newspaper or magazine which is published by an organization monthly without any cover price and is distributed to a selected target public. Next that we're going to talk about is bulletin board. Several times many organizations publish many important notices, orders for the employees of organization or significant board. This is called as bulletin board. That you can see in many offices. It is majorly for internal and external, depending on what kind of organization we are dealing with. If you're dealing with banks, then the bulletin board is also used for the external public, giving them the complete information what is happening in the bank, what all step needs to be taken care of with some new kind of a system or some new kind of a policy is being introduced. Like these days of COVID, every organization has this bulletin board outside the organization mentioning the COVID protocols that needs to be followed to before entering the organization or after entering the organization. So that's how the bulletin board functions, and it is an important way via which you can deal with your employees, and communicate right information to them. An annual report is the most essential and the first-hand communication to introduce the company to the financial public as well as to a financial collaborators. An annual report is a financial document that a public company prepares for its shareholders. However, annual reports have the potential to be more than just a financial statement. It can be a huge marketing opportunity to show an organization identity and brand and make an emotional connection with your target audience. It is very important because you can show it to your stakeholders what exactly is happening in the organization, where is money being utilized, what kind of profits are there. It helps them to understand the functioning of the economy of the organization. As mentioned, it helps in huge marketing opportunity, and identifying of the brand is there and making an emotional connection with the target audience. Next is there are few tips of leveraging your annual report. That is, annual report should contain the following: chairman's letter, business profile, management analysis, financial statement. More and more companies are turning their BOR annual report into a marketing tool to showcase their company's business victories, culture, and vision. Exhibition is an organized presentation and display of a selection of items. In practice, exhibitions usually occur within museum, galleries, and exhibition halls and world fairs. Exhibition may be permanent displays or temporary, but in common usage, exhibitions are considered as temporary and usually scheduled to open and close on specific days. Like at Pragati Maidan, you generally have these auto expo that is happening. That's a kind of an exhibition for the automobiles company to come up and showcase their work. That's a temporary way to bring that, to introduce yourself to the public, to the right kind of public that you want to deal with, that would help them to understand your product. They can check the product in hand, they can feel the product, they can see the product and see whether they would like to go for it or no. Such exhibitions are temporary, are majorly they have their open date as well as they have closed date. But via this tool, it is it's very pertinent that you should use this tool very wisely. In terms of exhibiting your product, you should have a right kiosk, right amount of people giving the right information about your product. Calling of people in, calling of the footfall toward your kiosk should be that the tractor should call all the footfall towards your kiosk or your place where your product is being placed. There should be one person who will be there in handling the inquiries or queries that people have regarding your product or the organization. As the main responsibility of any public relation practitioner is to build the image of the organization by obtaining positive media coverage, exhibitions are great opportunities to achieve this goal. Public relation programs should be planned in such a way that the publicity campaign of each exhibition is included and deadlines for publications are met. Let me repeat this point. Public relation programs should be planned in such a way that a publicity campaign for each exhibition is included and deadlines for publications are met. Open house. Instead of traditional open house, professional firms can consider hosting open house style events such as community discussion over coffee in the morning or networking happy hour after office hours end. This kind of event can work especially well if you have invested in designing common areas that are built with the intention of encouraging groups to socialize. The open houses, it's not the traditional way that you are asking people to discuss or something. You can ask people to come and in a common area where you ask people to invest time and to encourage basically encourage them to talk and to socialize and to network after office hours or in the morning. That helps in building the culture in the organization, that helps in building the environment in the organization, that tells that people are positive in terms of talking to each other. Start announcing your open house at least once a month ahead of time and make a schedule to how you will promote the event. That is, make plans and when how you will share posts on social media, emails, or list of subscribe, put up signs in your office, or even post local ads. Follow up with the visitor to get the maximum benefit from your open house. You need to have a solid plan in place to keep the track who attends, so you can have a follow up with them later. So in this this PPT, we have learned about house journal, we have learned about open house, its advantage, how we have to do a follow up with that. Also, we have talked about annual report, how these days annual reports are being utilized, become a marketing gimmick these days. That is very important. Also, we have talked about exhibition, its advantages, that how people are using exhibition as a major marketing tool. We've discussed about house journal in detail. We've talked about open house that needs to be promoted well in advance, that many people should be a part of it. And importantly, we should keep follow up with the visitors who have come up for the open house. We should know their feedback related to it. Let me brief you again once again. We have talked about tools and techniques, public relations, tools and activities, house journal, bulletin board, which is very important. I gave you an example of a bank. Of course, you can add school, colleges are one of the better examples where the bulletin boards are majorly used. Annual reports, exhibitions, and open house. So these are certain tools and techniques used in case of public